Hello, good evening, and welcome to Umbral Equinox Noctis, Lufenia, against the Argent Efficients. These guys I think are also known as the Agrius Wizards, and one of the first bosses I actually had to deal with in the game, because they were featured in Firian's Mission Dungeon. And they were a right pain back then, when I didn't really have the tools and I was relying on Irvin EX. Good times though. Fortunately, the team I've brought today, which is Ashe and Seifer, as I did yesterday, along with Cloud of Darkness, really do bully this event. Now, if you watched my Dusk video, you'll know that Ashe and Seifer together are fantastic for just delaying the enemies, getting lots of turns in and bullying them, and Cloud of Darkness certainly has some delays in her kit as well. I like pressing wide angle when she's at low stacks. I didn't do it there, but I often do. Because, you know, it's a nice delay, it does some damage, and if you're only pressing it for zero form, you're not using up any uses, so I want to make use of it. I've also put on Edward's Call, and there's a reason for that. I've only used one of the particular uses, because at 50% they will float in the air and dispel all debuffs. But the reason I've brought Edward's Call is to inflict iBRV down on them. Now, I have no idea how significant it actually was, I didn't run any tests, but these guys have maybe the trickiest orb to deal with of any of the fights we saw for Umbral Equinox. It's just come up there, which is, it only ticks down when they take a break, which is why I actually have Cloud of Darkness here. She has 4 uses of an AoE rebreak with her LD, and I've just held off on using hers, even though her buff did fall off, to make sure I could use her to handle the orb as much as possible. But I was hoping that Edward's iBRV down would help deal with maybe getting some more frequent breaks in. It may have done absolutely nothing, but it worked out. Now, usually these guys can do some quite nasty brave and HP attacks, or bravery attacks. If you let them get turns, they can certainly mess you up. So I just decided not to do that. I will say the orb is looking quite spooky there, but it's fine, we've got the break, that's going to go up, and we've got a turn with Cloud of Darkness pretty much immediately after. I think I hold off here though and use the EX, because you can see I've got a Cloud of Darkness right up after Seifer, so just really to milk that orb and make sure that I'm getting the +4 rather than it would have been +3 there. So yeah, now it's time for the rebreak, and of course straight off the rebreak you get those full stacks of darkness for a lovely zero form to delay them to hell and back. I will say, this fight can be tricky to manage the breaks with a single rebreaker. I did do a quick run with Noel, and it wasn't as straightforward as you'd expect from, you know, a character as rebreak heavy as Noel. The other thing is that break reset, the AA that a couple of characters have, like Odin and Cloud of Darkness, is actually not very useful here, because of course you tick the orb down whenever you use it, but it also only works on one of them at the same time, so if you want to do it across both, you're taking up 4 turns to add 4 to the orb. You've not really achieved all that much. So here they've floated up, they've lost all their debuffs, but it's fine, we can reapply them with a lovely instant break from Jack as well, because they have quite a lot of bravery there, and they're notorious for their globated Crush Plus, which is a full AoE HP attack. It doesn't have any gains to it, I don't think. Maybe if they're below iBRV, they'll go up to iBRV. But fortunately with Jack and Edward Call, we're able to dispatch that bravery quite easily. They have quite nasty reductions during this as well, and they can't be delayed. You can rebreak them, and I did do what I thought was going to be a stomp fight using Odin for synergy, but what I didn't realise is if you kept rebreaking them and not letting them get turns, they didn't lose their reductions, so I was just dealing pitiful damage against them. So I really want them to get their turn sooner rather than later, so they can do the, let's be honest, negligible HP damage they're going to do, and we can really get this fight back on the road. The other nice thing is that Seifer obviously does more damage based on how many debuffs are up. He gets bravery damage boosts for that. Which means that if you load them up with this many debuffs, even through all those reductions, he's still going to hit really, really hard. If you take a look on his next turn, Seifer will still deal quite a lot of bravery damage, although I suppose there's a lot of debuffs down. But let's see. Oh, I didn't see it. It was masked by the numbers. It wasn't max, but it was probably 7,000-ish, which is nice. Oh, why did I have to get the counter? Oh well. Let me do a big delay on that guy. And globated crush hits for more than I was expecting. But it's not a big deal, because Ashe has a lovely HP regen, which will get them all back up to full HP by the end of the fight, and these guys aren't getting another turn. I said this fight was slightly more interesting, and, you know, it does require a little bit more finesse. I'm still going to have to, from this point on, manage that orb carefully. But we've got the summon left over. We've got 2 high-speed particle beams left over. I'm not too worried about it. Right. I don't really want to press high speed there, and I can see that it's going to probably get to iBRV again next turn, so I can get away with doing that wide angle, breaking with Ashe now this turn, and then on Cloud of Darkness's next turn, I'll be able to do that nice rebreak to really just push that orb as far as it can go. Cloud of Darkness is yet another character who does benefit from Ashe and her fantastic EX recharge. It's such a powerful ability. When I was looking at Ashe's kit before she came out, I was thinking, God, who's going to be good with that? Because for a lot of characters, EX really is their worst button, but not so for some of these guys here. I think Cloud of Darkness often suffers from not having buttons she wants to press on her turn while she's building up those darkness stacks. You know, insulating... Is it insulating? Isolating? Insulting? Insulating appendages, that's the one. It's not a very attractive button to press, and well, you can't really press wide angle beam without losing all your darkness stacks. So having access to that EX to do really quite a lot of damage and keep building those darkness stacks is... she likes it a lot. And also with the extra delay, it helps this team out. But certainly looking like we're going to get towards the end of the fight. This was definitely the most interesting of the Equinox fights left. It wasn't quite as straightforward, but it could still be bullied quite hard. Anyhow, thank you very much for coming and watching my video. I will be doing another one of these for Yuna's event, which is very, very soon. So looking forward to seeing what that holds in store. But until then, thanks very much, and catch you later.